Hi, I'm Sarah Kessler. Spina bifida refers to a hole in a baby's neural tube, which connects the baby's spinal cord to their brain. The neural tube forms about a month after conception, but a tube on a baby's with spina bifida does not fully connect. And this can be detected while the baby's still in utero. And so treatment plans can begin right as soon as you find out, and that could be surgery, and a surgery either in utero to help fuse the spinal cord, or it could be 1 or 2 days after. And then after the surgery, there's a medical team that'll help support the family with all the health conditions, because there are many secondary health conditions that come along with spina bifida that need to be addressed, ones such as infections in the bladder and the kidneys, different allergies, and then hydrocephalus, which is the other really serious condition, which is fluid in the brain, in the lower brain. So needless to say, when I was researching this topic, there is so much medical jargon that families have to learn and have to listen to. And so when presenting this information, I really wanted to create a very family-friendly slew of information for them that didn't sugarcoat what they would go through, but just presented information in a really respectable and easy to understand way. So spina bifida is not caused by one single factor, but is most likely a combination of genetic and environmental factors. There's nothing that you can do to prevent it, even though some cultures may think otherwise, but there's not. Most OBs will recommend moms managing their obesity, diabetes, staying away from drugs, and taking folic acid while pregnant. So after these babies are born and they have their surgeries, spina bifida can still affect all their areas of development. However, every child, even when they have spina bifida, can be very unique and very different. So as an educator, it's still important to get to know your child and their unique needs and their desires and their strengths and motivators, as well as their families. So besides their physical, which spina bifida, depending on where the spina bifida is located, higher or lower on their back, their mobility can be affected, so they might have a trouble time with learning how to walk and learning how to use their hands. They also might be shorter in stature. For their social, this could affect their social emotional too. That may unfortunately prevent a barrier for creating friendships, but in those inclusive environments we know are so beneficial for all children of all abilities. They might have a difficulty picking up on some social cues, which also then affects their language, because the biggest aspect with their language development is pragmatics, or those social cues, and staying on focus and staying on task while speaking. Their cognition may end up being equal or average compared to other peers their age. However, they may have challenges with their focus and attention and memory. I worked with a little guy who had spina bifida, and I worked with a very multidisciplinary education team. I was the teacher, but it was mostly our OT and PT and speech language who did a lot of oral motor, who worked mainly with this little guy. And what I remembered about working with this family was they had so much going on, so much medical issues that were so serious, that when we would come up to their house and they wouldn't be there because they would be at the hospital or the doctor again. And the last thing on their mind was to call the school, because again, their child's safety and well-being was their number one priority. So I think meeting the family where they're at was really critical. I found some great resources for these families. There's local chapters of the Spinal Bifida Association of America. There's, of course, the Marcia Dimes, and a really cool website I found that actually has resources for kids with many different disabilities and abilities. It's called Tiny Superheroes, and they have a specific Spina Bifida Ultimate Resource Guide, and it was just a really cool and empowering website for these families, and they did a lot of really neat education and events. So I would highly recommend checking them out. Thanks. Bye.